Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Speech Check. I am Sam.
And I'm Matt.
And this is episode 9.
And today we are talking about Dreams, the Sonic movie, and our favourite gaming memories. But before we talk about any of that, or indeed what we've been playing, we're going to talk about some comments, because we've had our first couple of comments.
I feel so special. We're going to engage our audience, because this is what
That's a thing.
a good channel does, right?
That's what we
are
do.
we not a good channel?
I don't know if that's been decided yet. I don't.
We'll see.
But yeah, let's just drop right into it, Sam. Well,
Okay. This was comment on episode 8, so the last episode, from Sheepington. Thank you for your comment, Sheepington. She lets us know that Vin Diesel also voiced all of the foreign dubs of Groot, which I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
News to me. Yeah.
I mean, he only had, probably 10 lines of
So
way
does
to say Groot. I'm Groot.
I mean, yeah, he'd have to say "I am" in different languages, right? That'd be it.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now. I suppose just like being like, I'm gonna do this I'm gonna go to Japan and do this. It's like
It's the
yeah.
it's like
Okay.
it's that,
I'm with you.
that localization.
Okay, I'm stupid. She also says, I think with a big company like Nintendo, it's easy to forget the importance of protecting your IP. It's not free advertising. Does that seem Marika? Help me out here, Matt.
Marika.
Marika, okay. We're using the popularity of Mario Kart to fuel their own publicity. I'd say that's a fair comment, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's something that maybe we glossed over a little bit, and we came down probably pretty hard on the side of the people who were using Mario Kart to support their karting thing, and kind of like, oh, you know, Nintendo's the big boys, get over it. But you are diluting the identity of their characters in some way. So protecting them is important. We hear that.
I get, yeah, you need to go down to like, you know, if you ignore the really grassroots people, it can, if you leave that, I'm sure it can, before you like squash it, it can
Get out of control, yeah.
Yeah, so it can become a bit of a thing. So, which is fair. We were probably like siding with the little guy.
Yeah,
that
for
one,
sure.
So which, you know, I'll admit that I'm guilty on that. I still do feel that way, but I understand what Sheepington is saying there.
That's a good point.
That's fair enough. She did like the tutorial sections. She also says that she enjoyed the tutorial sections of Horizon Zero Dawn and A Plague Tale: Innocence, which I haven't personally played. I don't know if you've experienced any of those, Matt.
I've been interested to play A Plague Tale, but I've not played Horizon.
I know of it. It seems kind of like I don't want to say Assassin's Creed, like that theme, an open world themed shooter with those kind of mechanics.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'll trust. I know you're like a clone. You're a clone of a woman who lived before.
In Horizon, is this?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think you like experience. So there's a bit of, I guess, Assassin's Creed stuff going on. You have like, I don't know if you have like partial pieces of her memory.
I didn't know that happened. I have no idea, man.
There's a fairly deep story on on Horizon. So yeah.
Oh, it looks really generic from the outside looking in. No, I mean, like, you know, open world, third person action game with parkour.
There's a reason I
stealth.
gravitated towards Assassin's Creed. You know,
Yeah.
not wanting to gel all open world games with the same brush, but you know. She goes on to say, in Horizon, it was clear that it was the tutorial section, but it didn't feel too jarring. And Plague Tale was a very tense experience. She said that the Persona 5 one is actually a fun way as well. I know, like, Persona 5 UI in general is like a huge part of that game, like the menus and stuff, and when you're in battle, the way it really uses just its UI to like just come at you in a completely different way.
Everything I've seen about it has great UI and UX, and it reminds me of Danganronpa, the series, that kind of super stylized text, and also text that's diegetic, so it isn't just on the HUD, it's a part of the world, and
Excuse me.
it's a cool look.
It says then you've got games like Subnautica, which my cousin plays actually. He was moaning about not being able to play that the other day.
Oh.
You just kind of have to learn the game and get around of it, and it doesn't give you very much info, which I'd be happier or more okay with that kind of experience. We just kind of left to feel around and find your own way. But I guess it depends. If you're playing a game like GTA, Gears, games with like a deep set of mechanics,
Depends entirely on the game.
You're gonna need that information. Whereas, you know, if it's a twin stick shooter or something like that, you could, you can pretty much just mash all the buttons once and figure out what they do.
And a game like Subnautica, by design, you only have a certain number of options when you start, and then those options lead to more options. So you kind of don't really need to teach someone a lot of mechanics. You swim around, scan, and build, is what I know about Subnautica. So it's not. It's a bit like Minecraft in a way. Like, you don't necessarily.
Yeah, you just kind of feel your way through it.
Yeah, and that's almost part of the experience and the difficulty. The difficulty curve is to do with player knowledge and building player knowledge. So yeah, you can see it more in those experiences.
So yeah, that's pretty much the comment on that one. So thanks, Sheepington. We really appreciate that. Any engagement we have from anybody, any comments, likes, whatever, we're all for that. So if you want to get involved, please comment away with the things that you think. Yeah. Moving on to our second comment, Matt.
So this one comes at us from another friend of the show, let's say, Larwick, who's actually our artist as well. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, you'll be looking at his art right now. And he goes on to talk about the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite from his perspective. So I defined the separation as a roguelite being a procedurally generated game that has persistent elements, and a roguelike being a game with no persistence. Procedurally generated game with no persistence. And Larwick brings up the point that roguelites often follow the template set out by the original Rogue game from 1980s Atari, an Atari game, and roguelikes only emulate that. I think I've got the right way around. Yeah, sorry, a roguelike emulates Rogue, and a roguelite just uses the procedural elements. So it's a similar concept because Rogue didn't have any persistence. So we're speaking the same language, but we're just using different terminologies maybe in that one. But yeah, we definitely appreciate the interaction and a bit of clarity on some of those terms that are a bit confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
So let's jump straight into what have we been playing, and we'll start with you, Sam. What have you been playing?
I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been getting more into Red Dead Online, which we spent a Sunday together.
We did.
Played some more Smash Doubles. That was insane.
K-Rool Luigi.
Yeah, that was a combo that was working out.
It's a weird combo.
I don't know why. Don't know how. I don't know if anyone's. I don't know how you do double strats. I think we've spoken about this before. It just seems to go ahead, especially online.
With Team Attack off, when you're on like just online doubles, I don't think you really have a strat. Just throw out as many hitboxes as you can.
Yeah,
that's it. With Team Attack on, you can get a bit more I don't know, get a bit more strategic with your choices. But yeah.
I was getting more into Red Dead Online. I've become a bounty hunter. Just that's the way I've chosen to make my money. You're not exclusive to that, so I can kind of like GTA in that you can have multiple businesses, you can do multiple things. I can be a moonshiner, which I'm probably going to do, but it's all around the economics of the game. You need gold to do stuff, or you need a certain amount of money, you need to buy certain things, or you need to be a certain rank of a certain thing. So there's a lot of, if you click on something, there's a lot of drop-down lists if it was presented in that way. But it is fun. It's weird in that I do it, it's an online game that I play alone, oddly. It's obviously meant to be played with more people, but
yeah,
I don't have a posse of friends that I play with. My friends have it, but they don't. It's kind of. It has kind of been forgotten about. It's definitely not got the same amount of people that GTA Online has. I would say that's a strong community, but it's grown over 5 years.
It's had time to germinate.
So it's quite established. So, and I think just from the time period that it's in, Red Dead is just more limited. You can't add flying horses into Red Dead, but you can add flying cars into GTA. As insane as it is, there's just a bigger scope within that.
I guess you could hope for something like an Undead Nightmare. They could maybe put that kind of stuff in there to branch out on the gameplay. But I hear what you're saying.
So I've been playing that. Been getting gold to do. You can do daily challenges, which incrementally add. You normally get like 20 nuggets. 20 nuggets equals. You need 100 nuggets to make a bar, and then you can either pay for stuff with money, or some stuff you can only pay with in gold.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, they know their subsystems, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They've taken it one step further because they only had you just have GTA money in GTA Online, and then you can buy just more, like lots of that money.
Is that the shark cards in GTA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can buy I think the most you can buy, 5 million GTA dollars, and it's like 70 quid.
Wow.
I hope if you've done that, let us know. But I hope you haven't. I hope no one comments been like, yeah, I paid that much.
That's a lot to
You're
spend on a
balling
game you
if
already own.
Yeah, to pay for the game 1.5 times over almost.
Yeah,
Is a bit crazy. Yeah, I'm playing that. It's fun. If you keep up to date, Rockstar's got like a newsletter service. They always have a promotional like thing for the week
okay.
that goes from Tuesday to Tuesday, and it's like this week more XP in shootouts, double money for collectors.
So like daily and weekly quests, kind of.
Yeah, their version of it, or like discounts on certain guns and stuff like that. So
Okay.
if you keep up to date with that, you know, you can be in. Like last week, it was more bounty hunting XP, so I played it more. So yeah, you can get a bit of knowledge with that. But yeah, I haven't been doing too much. But that's the bulk really of what I've been playing. But Matt, what have you been playing?
I've actually been playing something this week. I know last episode I haven't been playing much, but I've actually splashed out on Metro Exodus when it went on sale.
Did it kill your PC?
For 20. No, it
was alright.
It was alright. You know, I let it auto detect the settings and it was fine. I don't know whether it's been optimized since the initial release, but it was alright. It was £24, I think.
That's pretty good.
It was alright. That was half price or 40% off on Steam. I bought it, played it for an hour and a half, refunded it.
Oh wow!
I liked a lot of the elements of the game. I liked a lot of the diegetic elements. You've got like a watch that shows you.
Oh, doesn't it show you like your air, or like your shows you like your air filter time, or like the atmosphere kind of thing?
Yeah, it gives you information about the world, so you can always see that on your wrist. And the gas mask is like a huge mechanic in the game, like putting it on when you know that the air's toxic, and taking it off to save time. But the time is like real time, so every time you change a filter, you have 5 actual minutes before that filter runs out.
Okay.
Which kind of adds.
I played 2033, and
it's unchanged from that.
It retains those mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanic.
I thought though it was really poorly explained. I don't know if it was a limitation of the hardware or the game, or I just wasn't getting it. But I find it. I was like looking at my watch, and you've got like a red, yellow, and green zone to say like how much your filter is remaining. But it just like I just couldn't read the information it was giving me, or couldn't take it in. I didn't know what it meant.
They've done a lot better with that in Exodus. It's a lot. The information is a lot more legible. Let's say you just get it straight away, and they're better with the tutorial as well. There's like a short, maybe 20-minute, half an hour section where you're getting used to all these different mechanics, and they also have wiping of the gas mask, which is pretty cool. Like if you're in
I think they had that you kind of wipe the sweat, or like if it gets steamed up.
Yeah, or if you get blood on it, you know, you have to press a button to wipe the goop off of your gas mask, which is cool. I like that. I thought it was an
nice
interesting
little touch. Yeah.
But ultimately, I thought, even with all these cool mechanics, I've played this game before. Like I've played a pseudo open world post apocalyptic game. You know, I've done it, and it's not gonna. It didn't really drag me in, and those mechanics weren't enough to make me want to persist with the game. So I was like, I'll give it back, see what else I got. I ended up picking up For Honor. I paid £12 for it. It was also on sale.
I know you're a decent. You played For Honor before. I've seen you play For Honor. Yeah.
I played the free version.
Okay.
I picked up the version that I pay for, but it didn't seem to have any more content. It just gave me some steel, which is like in-game currency. And I would absolutely love to just own that game, but I don't feel like I do. I paid for it and I have it, and I only have about a fifth of the game's content, and everything else is just.
I remember
buy this hero pack, buy this hero pack, buy that.
Someone did the math, and it was like, it was either 700 hours to unlock everything, or it was like $700 or $800 to purchase if you wanted to buy everything in the game.
It's crazy that you get the standard edition, and that doesn't come with the year 1 hero pack, the year 2 hero pack, the year 3 hero pack, or the expansion pass. Each one of those is £25. The fighting mechanics are so cool. Like it feels good to play, and when you really get one over on someone, and you're like you're like reading them, and you're really like winning a fight.
There's a good cat
awesome.
and mouse thing to it. I can see why people like it.
But just my God, I want to just buy the game. Can I have the game, please, and not spend £100 on it because it's not worth that. Like flat out, it's not worth £100. It's worth the price of a full price AAA game, and that's it. And that kind of annoyed me a little bit, as you can probably tell.
I feel it. I feel your frustration.
Because I want to like it, you know? I really want to like it. And it does, it triggers me a little bit, a fighting game. You get a bit pissed off from time to time. But can you just let me own it? Or can you let me unlock stuff with in-game currency? Can I earn the ability to do it? And, you might earn 100 steel a day, and each hero is 8,000. That's the lowest price. And then they go up to like 15, 20,000. And like you have to just sink so much time into the game to get anywhere near. I could go on about for ages, but I also got Synthetic Legion Rising, which, leading back to our comment reply, is a roguelite, which apparently began life as a bolt-action rifle simulator.
Oh, this is the one you were telling me about. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
It's a really interesting game that I would recommend to anyone who likes procedurally generated games or roguelikes, whichever you want. Set in the future, you blow up androids or robots, and you're an android. It has an emphasis on a stop-start kind of gameplay in an incredibly hectic environment. So you get a kind of bullet hell feel from the world around you, but your accuracy decreases if you're moving or if your cursor is further away from your character. So it's about moving into position, stopping, aiming a headshot out, doing it, moving, stopping, dodging all these bullets and stuff. And of course, it's a roguelike. So in the vein of Binding of Isaac and Enter the Gungeon, you get crazy guns that you can scale up, and they're like ricocheting off walls and exploding and generating more ammo and all that kind of crazy things. But yeah, that's a great game. I definitely recommend that. And also, watch Seth Schneestack's video on YouTube. I've definitely mispronounced that second part. If you put in Seth Synthetic Legion, it'll be one of the top ones. It's a good video. He's pretty funny, pretty close to the bone, but he's a pretty funny guy, and he's got a lot of different reviews, kind of tongue-in-cheek reviews on stuff. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Cool. So there's the comments and what we've been playing. Matt, what's been released?
What has been released? This is going to follow the template we set up last episode, where I do 2 slightly more high-profile AAA releases and then 1 Indie Spotlight release. The Indie Spotlight might come from a little bit further back, just because there's not that many indie games.
There's not always a choice pick, yeah. You haven't got the AAA market to pick from. So.
Yeah, the constant conveyor belt churning out mediocre
Assassin's
products.
Creed
95. So the first game we're going to talk about, which is definitely not a mediocre product, and in fact is one of the most interesting projects I've seen come out of a gaming studio in a long time.
It's lighting up the internet at the moment, definitely.
Yeah, it's different to say the least. That is Dreams, coming us from Media Molecule, published by Sony. Coming us the 14th of February 2020. This is from the creators of Little Big Planet, and I think builds on those creation mechanics they had in Little Big Planet 2, I think, that became more prominent. It's an interesting one to talk about because it isn't necessarily a game in the traditional sense. It's been described by the developers as a YouTube for everything, which sounds melodramatic and kind of highbrow, but it's pretty accurate.
From the content I've seen people produce in it,
you can do anything. It seems it's essentially a creation tool. So it's Blender, Unreal, Maya, Photoshop, a sound studio, all just kind of slammed into one program. It's granted simplified in some ways.
Yeah.
You can't have the same kind of complexity that you get in some of those, but all put together in one place for user generated content. The whole idea of the project is to have people come together, make games, art, videos, stories,
whatever,
visual novels, everything. Short movies, animations, just whatever you can think about that's creative, you can just get it up there. You just go for it. It comes with a game packaged in it called Art's Dream, and it serves as like a 2-hour-long story that shows what Dreams is capable of. Sorry, I should say. And Art's Dream is made up of different kinds of games. There's like a short platforming section. There's a short 2-stick shooter section. There's a bit of a bullet hell, and the bulk of it is a telltale choose your own adventure sort of thing. It tells a story of a double bassist who quit his band and is now down and out, and it's about his story coming off the streets, and it's quite grounded, and
I've read up.
Story.
I have read up on the story, yeah, and it seems fairly standardized, but that's not the point of the game, right?
That's just
a 2-hour tutorial.
Essentially, just to introduce you into it. And even then, well, speaking of tutorials, it's a wash with them, and it needs them. Every creation tool in the game has its own tutorial, which is well managed. It leads you into things slowly and incrementally, and it always encourages creativity. So you putting your own spin on the instructions and making something new out of the tools that you have. Some of the impressive stuff that I've seen come out of it, they've just been shared on Instagram and Facebook, are a recreation of Fallout 4. So the whole intro part where you're zooming into
the armor,
the power armor, and like going into game and then playing like a simulacrum of Fallout 4 is pretty cool.
I've heard it runs better than Fallout 4.
Yeah,
more stable.
Yeah,
shots fired.
It just works. All right.
Yeah.
It just works.
Back off, Todd.
Get out of here, Todd. And an approximation of Ghosts of Tsushima.
I've seen that. That looks awesome.
Yeah,
it's so smooth.
I don't know how they're doing it, but I mean it's impressive. And that's kind of the long and short of it. You go into it and the game is as deep as your imagination is. You can make anything. I'd say it's probably a good start for people who are looking to get into game development because it holds your hand so heavily. There are a couple of downsides to it. I've made it seem like this amazing tool, and it comes with some issues. The control scheme has been a little bit of a bugbear for some people. It uses motion controls to control your cursor. So the PS4 has motion controls inbuilt, and some people don't like that. They've responded by having the dual analogs be responsible for the movement of the imp, I believe your characterized cursor is called. But again, that's limiting. It doesn't have the same flexibility as a mouse. It just doesn't. I think this is 100% pickup, 100%. If you have a PS4, get it, 100% get it, and you're a creative person, or even if you're not, it's just like having YouTube. You can click randomize and just play any game that anyone's made. They have really great search options, from super specific to drop-down menus to categorize your searches to just random dump me into a game, and you can go on rabbit holes of similar games and from this creator and of this genre. It's impressive. They've made a social media for games, in my opinion. Like Instagram is for pictures, Facebook is for, I don't know what Facebook's for actually. What is it for?
I didn't think Facebook could tell you what it's for. Stuff.
Unilad. Yeah. Facebook is for Unilad, and Dreams is for games. That's my opinion on it. Moving on from my love of that new bit of software.
Sorry, just to take you back quickly, do you know what the dev time was on it? Because that seems like it would have taken ages.
I know it was in early access for a year, and they've probably been working on it since the release of Little Big Planet 2.
Okay, so a decent amount of time.
I'd say a AAA window. I suppose because they're creating tools and not necessarily creating a world.
Yeah.
Next game, Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection.
That definitely sounds like a Mega Man title.
Coming at us from Capcom and published by Capcom.
Of course.
25th of February 2020. This is the 6 Mega Man games that appeared exclusively on handhelds. So you've got
Zero... these are the Game Boy Advance games?
Yeah. 0, 1 to 4 were only on Game Boy Advance, and ZX and ZX Advent were on the DS. This one, from my research, seems like a a really, I don't know how to describe it, like the way that you want to repackage games for a secondary release. Like they've really thought about not just the games they're putting in it, but also their audience. The people who buy this are going to be people who like Mega Man, typically. You know,
you're probably not going to be picking up many new fans. It's going to be people that are already fans of the Mega Man games and probably have already played these games before.
Yeah, or people that wanted to play these games couldn't because of the console limitations, so you could only play them on the handhelds, and now they're coming to Switch, PS4, PC. So they've really, really toned up all of the fan service. You've got loads of behind-the-scenes art. You've got lots of... you've got all the soundtracks and all of the...
Mega Man soundtracks are good as well.
Yeah, they are good. Kind of like with Smash Ultimate, you know, where you can access like all of the content in the game individually. Like you could listen to all the voice lines if you wanted to. They've gone for that kind of approach. They've also, this one really impressed me. They took all of the anime cutscenes that were on the Game Boy Advance, that were compressed to fit on the Game Boy Advance, and they re-rendered them uncompressed so they could run in 1080p. So you've got remastered versions of all of the anime cutscenes from all of the 6 games playing at 1080p. So I just thought it was a really nice touch to go back and remaster everything.
When, like, from a... You know, you can appreciate that as someone who doesn't know anything about video, but then knowing how much effort that would take from a technical point of view, you think, okay, you know, fair enough, you have tried.
Yeah, it's no small feat to rip all those cutscenes out, remaster them all, and then put them all back in. You also have kind of kitsch graphical choices. You can go for the standard, which will just be pixelated. You know, they are pixel graphics games. You can smooth, so they take off all the edges, which looks terrible. I've done it before on the Sega Mega Drive collection, and when you smooth out a game that was done with pixel graphics,
it was never meant to look
horrible.
like this. Yeah,
everything looks like it's made of jelly or something. It's gross. And they also have a GBA emulation, which puts like a backlit static filter on top of the pixelation, so it looks like you're playing on a GBA.
I loved my Game Boy Advance.
It's a classic console.
Some of the best times I had as a child were holding a Game Boy.
Is that...
And an adult.
Do you want to call someone? Is that a positive statement? Or is
I don't want to elaborate on it, so carry on.
Okay, let's carry on. They've also managed the use of the touchscreen in the DS games. Well, you can pick where that touchscreen appears on your screen, because the touchscreen in the DS games had a map on it, and it was also how you switched modes in the Advent game, the ZX and ZX Advent. So in the same way you have your different robot powers in that game, you would switch between different like fighting modes and that kind of stuff, and you control that with one of the analog sticks. So you have a cursor on the second screen, inverted commas, that would be on the DS that you typically control with a touchscreen, and you have a cursor you control with your analog stick.
That's probably quite a challenge, like when you have something like the DS that, you know, touch was a massive part of how the games were designed for it.
Yeah.
So to remaster a game that doesn't necessarily have that must be...
Try and put it in, it's difficult, yeah. And to make it intuitive as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some design decisions that need to be made. Kind of like when we were talking about the other day about the Resi remakes and how the choice to not use fixed camera angles again.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically a completely different game.
You have to consider it from the off as to how you're going to approach that. They also included the Japanese versions of all of the games. So if you don't want to play the EMEA release, you can play the original Japanese release, which I believe just in ZX and ZX Advent has blood that was taken out for the European release.
But the robots, aren't they?
When you kill them, they spurt blood.
Oh.
Some of them do. The humanoid robots spurt blood when you kill them. A little bit of a factoid for you. One negative that I've heard from this is that there were some minor translation issues in 0, 1, and 2 that weren't fixed, which I can understand, because as much as you can go back in and take out a cutscene, that's like one fixed chunk that you can slice out and slice back in. If you want to start fixing localization, you'd have to
like
redevelop the game.
Yeah, and stuff like that. You have to do a lot of more
even if it's just
background
text.
work.
Yeah, if it's just text appearing in the game, you've got to open up that game, find that text, change it, put it all back together again. And they probably didn't have the development resource to do that.
Yeah. So, fair enough.
Yeah, I give him a pass.
Oh,
that
didn't
one.
even plan that. That was fun.
That one for me, watching the reviews on that made me want to pick it up. I'm not a huge Mega Man fan. I like it and I respect it for what it did for gaming, but it's
they're their own kind of game.
yeah.
You know, they're very unforgiving. You know, if you're not good at them,
They're of the
tough.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of unforgiving, they've added a couple of different game modes for people who don't necessarily want to have that early to mid 2000s experience of an incredibly difficult side-scrolling platformer. Casual scenario mode, which just ups your power massively, so you have more health, do more damage. You can just rinse through the game.
Okay.
And enjoy the game for the platforming and you know what it is.
You might actually be able to finish the game.
Yeah.
Which would be nice.
And they also have save assist mode, which adds periodic checkpoints throughout the game and infinite lives.
Oh,
So if you die, you just go back to the checkpoint.
that's
But it doesn't change the difficulty. So it's as hard, but you get to run a section over and over again, which is I think that's a really good mode to add because Mega Man could be punishing, punishing the difficulty.
I've only seen Mega Man games speedrun,
Speedrun, yeah.
Yeah.
Speedrun, yeah.
and they obviously they look pretty easy, but even them making it look easy, I'm like, that looks really hard.
Yeah, like I would not have fun playing that casually.
Yeah.
Moving on from Mega Man, a pickup, especially if you like 2D action games. Last game to talk about is our indie spotlight. This is After Party, coming at us from Night School Studios, who are also the publisher. And this came out October 29th, 2019. The developers of Oxenfree, which might be a game that you've not heard of.
I've heard of that, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. I just know it exists.
It's a really good game, and I would advise people play it. It's definitely worth a look. But After Party, in the vein of Oxenfree, it's a 2D exploration game focused around conversation. So it is very, very much of the design of Oxenfree, but they kind of develop it a little bit. The story really hooked me in when I was reading about it. You play two friends who go to hell and have to defeat the devil in a drinking game to get back out. So you're traveling the streets of hell, going from bar to bar, trying to figure out how best to defeat the devil. And along the way, you learn about yourself, the different demons of hell. And these games are more about like character introspection rather than a grand story told. You're not traversing a huge environment or
You're exploring who you are.
Yeah, you learn more about the characters that you're playing and also the characters that inhabit the world. They don't really mix up the formula from Oxenfree, which is a kind of Telltale style real-time conversation system. They've added a system where you can take a drink and that will give you more dialogue options, but there's little to no mechanical impact in doing that. So it isn't like if you take too many drinks, you become drunk and fail that dialogue. You will always be sober by the next time a dialogue option comes up, so you can take a drink again. So it has limited impact on gameplay, but it serves a narrative purpose for the story, and that's the focus of this. It is a narrative journey, this game. So if you're a fan of those kind of experiences, I would definitely say pick this up and check it out, because it'll probably be cheap as well. Oxenfree cost me about £5 and it's £10 max.
Yeah, it's going to be around that kind of. Be surprised if it was anything within a tenner.
Yeah, but Night School Studios, really good, interesting development team. Check out Oxenfree and check out After Party. That'll be my top take from this one.
What have I got?
Right. I've been rambling for what seems like a short eternity. So I'm going to hand off to Sam, who's going to tell us what's actually going on in the world of gaming. News. Enlighten me.
So, as always, start with my nuggets. I'm wheating your appetite. Just go with it. So yeah, nugget number 1, Sport Relief, which is, if you don't know, if you're outside of the UK, you might not be aware what Sport Relief is. I'm pretty sure they alternate between Comic Relief and Sport Relief every year.
I think you're right, yeah.
So it's just a time of the year where in the UK we do fundraising through sport events.
Yeah, and a lot of different companies get involved as well.
Yeah, like workplaces and stuff, where there's usually a night, I believe.
Yeah,
like it's a show.
It's like a nationwide thing. Everyone
Sonic
sticks in
and stuff. They are adding gaming to their fundraising options.
Oh, great.
So, which I thought was really cool. They've called the campaign game raising, so not a whole lot of thought really gone into that. Someone was like, "What are we doing? Raising our game? Call it game raising." Okay,
Done.
yeah, that was late on a Friday afternoon. They had to submit that.
It's a short PR meeting.
Yeah, everyone okay with game raising? All right, cool. The website enables you to start a fundraising page via Just Giving. It literally just is a donation page, right? I've not used Just Giving myself, but
Okay.
I know people that have set one up. You can do it solo, it's part of a team, so if you want to get your friends involved, you can do. It suggests things that you could do. You could do like gaming tournaments, have parties. I'm always down for a bit of Mario Party.
Oh.
Do some streaming. So obviously that's a big thing for, I imagine a lot of big streamers will get involved.
For sure.
And it also says, you can do abstinence, so you could do no gaming, which kind of seems a bit...
How do you...
yeah, I don't know. Surely you just set up the page and go, and then don't do anything.
Yeah.
It seems a little bit
How do you
odd.
evidence not gaming?
Yeah, I don't know. So, but apparently you can.
Okay.
Or obviously, if you're watching a streamer, they can set it up through the chat, so you can just watch and also donate as well. So,
Okay.
for those that don't know, again, Sportleaf, it helps people not just in the UK. I thought it was just a thing for the United Kingdom. It's not. It does international as well.
Okay. I didn't know that either.
It fights any form of injustice. So that's mental health, child protection, families in crisis, homelessness, all the above.
Okay.
All the bad things that you can think of, it fights them.
All the terrible things in humanity.
Yeah.
So just, so pure.
So yeah, that's that. If you want to get involved, I'll link the Sportleaf site, that page.
That's a good shout.
In the description, so you can go check that if you want. And if you are going to get involved and do some fundraising, if you're going to not game and prove it,
Yeah.
let us know. Share how you're going to help raise money if you are. I think that'd be cool.
I'd like to see that, yeah.
Nugget number 2, rolling straight on. More, it seems to be, I try and pick like different news and a bit more uncommon, but it always seems to circle around on the same themes. Clearly I'm showing what the kind of stuff that I find interesting,
Okay.
and I hope that other people will.
I've not read any of this, so this is
So
going to be...
kind of relating back to Sheepington's comment about the IP stuff. We've kind of landed on this again. So we're into a legality arena.
Okay.
A Rockstar lawyer, not as in a man who also plays a guitar in a band.
Okay.
A lawyer for Rockstar Games has been brought in to bring action against people that have made a sex mod for Red Dead Redemption 2. So the people in question have recreated hot coffee. Matt, you know what hot coffee is? I know you're not
yeah.
the biggest GTA fan, but it's pretty infamous. So they basically recreated that mod within Red Dead 2.
Okay.
The YouTuber Swetka says the mod breaks the... they've said to him that the mod breaks the end user license agreement and the code of conduct. John, I may have actually got that wrong. I've written it in a way that I don't understand, so I don't expect you to either. That has happened. Apparently, it breaks the end user license agreement and code of conduct. So.
Okay. No, that does make sense, yeah.
And the modder, a person by the name of Unlosing, I think he makes a good point. He says he thinks it's crazy how Rockstar has like hookers and prostitutes in his game, but then when someone makes a mod like this, they deem it inappropriate. So I can see it from both ways. I get how that's, you can pick and choose, but at the end of the day, it is their game, and they can say what they do and don't want in it. So.
But in modding it, don't you have to like seek out and download his mod? So you've already broken the terms and conditions of the game by altering the code, right? As soon as you alter the code, you're no longer under the jurisdiction of the game. So how I don't understand how they can sue him.
I don't know if it's like a scare tactic or a part of it they're just flexing. I don't really know.
It seems more like that because I think as soon as you mod something, is
no
longer the product.
If
that was
they'd
sold.
done that to the game that you download through the like Rockstar Games store, fair enough.
Yeah, if they somehow hacked it at the source or something, I'd get it. But
and that was the only version of the game you could download, then fair enough. But I guess if that's his mod, I get where you come from.
You know what I mean? It isn't the product that Rockstar is selling. It's the product that's been manipulated by someone else who's hacking it.
Yeah. He also goes further to say that it's made up of pre-existing assets, and like poses and stuff in the game, and like
character injury dialogue.
Yeah, so the moans that I can't confirm what they sound like because
Okay.
I've not heard them in any capacity.
We're not going down that route, but okay. Let's not do it.
They are apparently character injury noises. It's stuff from the game has been used to be seen in this way. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's an odd one.
Yeah, a weird one. Like I said, I'm kind of with you. I get why they're mad. Don't get how they're going to do anything about it. Nugget number 3, Disney, everyone's favorite company. They're opening up their back catalog to developers, which
Oh, really?
From a or not like full open the floodgates, but they've come out and said that they're open to working with people. So the senior VP of Games and Interactive Experiences, Sean Shoptow, nice name,
Okay.
said at the DICE Summit, they want to, quotes, empower you to do really unique things with their catalog. It's kind of highlighted in the fact they've done Fallen Order, which I keep forgetting that Star Wars is a Disney franchise.
Yeah. Same here.
And Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4, which, Spider-Man, very good game.
Mm-hmm.
Fallen Order, good game, I'd say.
It
Not amazing.
reviewed well. It reviewed well.
Did okay. Don't think it's setting the world on fire, but
No, I
if
think
you
it'll
like
end up
Star
being
Wars-
forgotten, but it's a good game.
yeah, if you like Star Wars, you'll probably like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just examples of how they've just kind of, because they didn't really make a big thing of that. I didn't think, Spider-Man, Disney, Marvel,
No, yeah, I didn't put them together in my head, weirdly.
Yeah, so
Marvel and Disney, but...
So yeah, they're examples that they've kind of quoted as like mainstream success.
Okay.
Kingdom Hearts obviously is literally that.
It's only that, right?
Yeah. So I'm not a personal Kingdom Hearts fan. I don't know. They don't really just appeal to me. They're just
I played
not my kind of
2.
game.
I played 2, it was fun.
I'm sure they're good if you like that kind of thing. I don't really know what it is though. I couldn't tell you what happens. I know there are Disney characters and you like go from different worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you have a Keyblade.
The
right?
story is mental, and
It's very Japanese.
I couldn't summarize it at all.
You either love that game or those kind of games, or you do not, and I do not.
it's
Like
that kind
Kingdom
of game.
Hearts, Final Fantasy, I'm not about that. Fair enough if you are, but not for me. Again, Mr. Shoptall says he wants the focus to be on original storytelling and the reimagination of popular characters, which you can't really say fair on that, can you? He's been like, make original games and make them good,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
feel free to use our characters. So
It's an amicable aim.
yeah, that's when you've got someone in a position of power like that. It's for me, it's kind of a shame that Nintendo isn't more open, or at least that persuasion. Maybe not fully open, but Nintendo are very like, you can't do anything unless we say it's okay. I just like them to be a bit more. I think most developers should be like that. Don't open the floodgates, but just be open.
Be open to the possibility.
Yeah. So, and if you want to see any Disney characters or licenses used in a game, what do you think would be good? I have no ideas. I remember I played either 101 or 102 Dalmatians when I was like 10, and it was
I didn't
alright.
even know that was a game.
I think I played it on PC, and I don't play PC games.
That must have been a while ago.
Yep. I've sat there looking at a keyboard that was as big as me, and I was like, "What is this?"
It's not like
Doggies.
like an out of left field thing to say, but I would love to see Castle of Illusion, like
Oh yeah,
changed,
the
remastered.
The Mickey's images games were good. I remember playing
The
them.
Mickey
on,
games were great.
Yeah, on Super Nintendo. Like they were hard as well, from what I remember. I
Yeah.
remember being a kid and not being very good at it, but liking it.
they're no slouch, those games. But that'll be interesting to see someone's modernized take on that kind of environment.
Donald Duck Quack Attack was a great game.
Is that the one with the plunger gun and you like travel the world?
I played it on the Game Boy Color, and I think they made a game for Game Boy Color, and that was not like anything else. Because it was on like N64, and I remember looking at the screenshots and was like, that looks like nothing like what I've played, even as like a little 12-year-old boy.
Do you know what? I think it was Quackshot is the one I played.
Yeah, I think.
And then there was, what's the one with Scrooge McDuck where he bounces with his...
DuckTales.
DuckTales was amazing,
DuckTales.
right? That's like a known amazing game.
Completed that on Extreme. Nearly killed myself.
What?
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's hard on normal. Like
Yeah.
that's like classic game.
I got to the very end and died, and then I have to start again. As in, like, lost all my lives. I ripped my controller up. Like, I literally twisted my 360 controller in my hands, and it just shattered. So, don't mess with me, Scrooge. coming for it, but then I completed it, so it's fine. On to my big boys, my main course. And that is the Sonic movie. It set a record for the biggest opening weekend for a video game movie adaptation, which I think is pretty cool, especially because I imagine everyone thought it was going to be kind of bad. And it's not great. I've seen it. It's good. It is. It kind of teeters between. It's not quite a kids' film, but it's definitely not a film for adults. You know, it's inoffensive. Thank God they redesigned Sonic. That would have been terrible. I know there's a whole like conspiracy theory thing about they were never gonna make him look weird. But
it was just a what's the saying? No such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah,
right, it was just a stunt
to
get people in.
They always had that in their back pocket, so people were like going to see it thinking it was going to be terrible, and it's actually okay. But yeah, onto money. It took $57 million, which is just under £44 million in North America in its first weekend, and it took 100 milli globally. So it's done.
What was the cost of the film? Do you know?
I could not tell you because I'm bad at this. So, no, I haven't got that figure to hand.
Okay.
It beat Detective Pikachu, which I think is pretty impressive.
That's
seeing as Pokemon is like one of the biggest franchises in the world. That made 430 million overall in its run. Christ. But I think Sonic is like on track to do that.
Really?
So
looks like we're seeing a Sonic sequel then.
We will. We will.
Okay.
I know that because
no spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the good reviews have, like I said, they've surprised most people in that people probably thought it was going to be a bit of a train wreck, and it just is okay. There's some half decent jokes in it. A lot of them, there's a fart joke in there because it's a kids film.
Yeah.
Obviously. But it's not bad. There's James Marsden, who is the main guy. He's not the voice of Sonic. That's Ben Schwartz.
Isn't that the guy from Red Dead Redemption 1? James Marsden.
John Marsden.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Carry on. Derailing you.
But yeah, he puts in a decent performance. He's not like cheesy, which you could easily be the he's not like a YouTube child.
He doesn't scream constantly.
Yeah, it's not that good. Kind of. But yeah, it's just pretty good. There is a post-credit scene, and what was. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to say there is a post-credit scene. It's not even really post. It's like you get the initial like mini credits. That says, here's all the big actors that were in this film, and then that's it. And then it goes down to all the other stuff. There's a scene there which I was like, oh, that's cool, and it
sets up
a new film. And what I thought was interesting, like in So You Go to See Avengers, and you have the trademark like comic book flip. Marvel, not like watermark, but
in the Marvel logo, it's like flipping between all the different comic styles and stuff.
That's how they mark a Marvel film.
Yeah.
It comes up with Sega original film.
Really?
Yeah. So we might see
a Sega cinematic universe.
It's entirely plausible.
Oh my god!
I'd go watch a Streets of Rage film. Streets of Rage. I'd go watch a Streets of Rage film. That's what I'm trying to say in English.
Okay.
Or Golden Axe. I'd watch a Golden Axe film.
If they make a Golden Axe film, I'm down there. But I didn't. I just don't know how to feel.
I know what they'll do. They'll make like Shenmue and Jet Set Radio. Or Space Channel 5.
Oh god.
They'll make the weirdest possible.
If you made Shenmue into a film, it would be 8 hours long and nothing would happen.
No. 8 hours of a man washing milk.
Yeah. Wait, washing with milk or just cleaning this milk?
No, that's the sequel.
Okay, sorry. Get ahead of myself.
That's completely crowdfunded because Shenmue. But yeah, I thought it was good. That's kind of all you could say about it, and it will probably be the most successful video game film until another one comes along. But video game films. That's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
I've seen Max Payne. That was terrible.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
didn't work.
No, he was like, I'm going to ignore all the source material and be my own thing, and it was bad. The live action Street Fighter.
Oh, it's good for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it's like cheesy bad.
Yeah,
the fact that it's Gomez from the Addams Family is Bison.
I just couldn't. Why? Of all actors at that time.
Yeah, whoever was casting that film. Fair enough, Van Damme as Guile.
That makes sense.
You know, he's a martial arts trained person. But even though Guile is meant to be, I'm an all-American man with a completely Belgian accent.
Yeah. Why Guile?
I don't know.
Isn't Street Fighter's kind of set around Ryu and Ken, right?
They're
the poster boys.
Yeah.
Why Guile?
I don't know.
But yeah, Street Fighter.
The animated films as well, Street Fighter, the mangas,
yeah.
They're really good. And the lesser known, is it Assassin's Fist?
Yeah.
That's really good. That actually has like really good fight choreography in it.
And that focuses on Ryu, Ken, and Akuma.
Yeah, which is what the core of the actual Street Fighter like lore and story is.
From what I know, everyone has their own story, but
yeah.
Ryu and Ken are kind of central to it, right?
Mortal Kombat, the like 90s one, actually alright.
The first one's good.
Yeah,
it's got decent actors in it as well.
Yeah, there's some fairly big names in that. The Pokemon movie, I went to see the Pokemon movie in the cinema, the first movie.
Yeah,
I got my shiny Pokemon card. I think I got me Pikachu. I want to say.
I've never seen the animated films.
You've not seen the animated films?
I've never seen them.
Get off this podcast
immediately.
My God.
I am outcast.
Watch that. I'm talking to you now, Matt. Watch that. Watch Pokemon. Watch Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah, that's my homework for this one.
Yeah. And Resident Evil. Not seen any of the Resident Evils. Hear they're terrible.
Wait, okay. Straight back at you. You've not seen any of the Resident Evils?
No.
They're amusingly terrible.
Yeah, they're not. The only thing I've seen is that the scene you've shown me of the of Ian Glenn, is he meant to be Wesker? No, he's meant to be somebody in Umbrella, and he like dodges the lasers in the hallway, and you're like, where are his legs? Where do his legs go?
Oh, the CG from the first film where he gets cut apart.
Yeah.
See, the first film's like okay, and it just gets more and more insane from there. There's an animated film that I really, really want to see. I've seen Degeneration, and that's all right. There's another film, and there was a scene flying around on the internet where Chris and Leon just open up.
The bike scene where Leon comes in on the bike.
Yeah, and they have like this amazing John Wick-esque fight scene with a bunch of zombies in a corridor, and it looks amazing.
By the way, two best characters or two best protagonists in Resident Evil.
Barry.
I'm not trying to be sexist. Actually, Jill. Jill's pretty good. Jill's pretty badass.
Yeah, Jill's badass.
Yeah,
Jill's badass.
Claire's okay, but if I had to pick a Redfield and pick Chris, every day of the week.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, and I know you like Doom. We have differing opinions.
I like Doom.
The first person section is amazing. Other than that, I'm not about it.
It's a generic action film that you can't really see what's going on in, and then that first person section, every time I watch it, blows me away. I absolutely love it.
Like, oh my God, again.
I just wish the whole film had been that. Why wasn't that? Hardcore Henry, actually. That was basically an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet.
Sure, I think it is. I think you like Carl Urban. I think that's what it seems to be.
I do like Carl Urban.
Yeah, you do.
Dredd.
Because you like Dredd, and I don't like Dredd. Maybe I don't like Carl Urban. I like Judge Dredd. I don't like Dredd.
Sorry. Say that you don't like Dredd.
No, I didn't like it.
You don't like Dredd,
no.
But you like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I don't know why. It felt more.
I am the law. You like Judge Dredd? That Judge Dredd?
Yeah,
dude.
But maybe I'm. But I like Rambo, and so maybe I'm liking Stallone.
You like Stallone? Okay. Well,
but I don't like whatever that weird film he did where he was like 65 and the love interest was like 24. Was it Assassins?
Bullet to the Head.
Bullet to the Head. That's it. He looks terrible on the cover.
Me and Luke went to watch that in the cinema. I fell asleep. That's the only time I've fallen asleep in the cinema. Is Bullet to the Head, and it was an action film, and it has Khal Drogo in it. And they have like a fire axe fight scene at the end. It's really weird.
But that's that.
Move on.
That was a complete tangent.
Completely derailed.
But we had fun. Did you have fun?
I always had fun.
We had feelings towards each other. You haven't watched Pokemon, and I don't like Dredd.
Yeah.
Main course 2. Activision, everyone's favorite publisher, is subpoenaing Reddit.
Okay.
According to Torrent Freak via PC Gamer, Activision attorneys have filed a court in California, and they're requesting a DMCA subpoena against Reddit itself. Now, if you don't know what a subpoena is, I didn't either, so I looked it up.
Isn't it like a court summons?
Basically, yeah. It's a writ ordering a person to attend court, or a representative of a company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the user Assyrian2410, who has since deleted their account. He posted an image of some soldiers standing on top of a helicopter, and the image text said Call of Duty : Warzone.
Ooh.
So they're thinking that they've leaked the Battle Royale mode,
Okay.
which isn't going to be the first time, right? Yeah, no, Blackout was the thing on Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
That was-
Blackout's big
that was-
now, I think.
Yeah, that was Battle Royale. They want Activision, sorry, they want Reddit to provide information sufficient to identify the individual or individuals responsible for posting content under that name. So they basically want all this guy's details. YouTube is rife with videos that are discussing rumors on like copyright claims. They've been like all taken down. All tweets like kind of relating to that or about that have been removed. So they're like, any evidence of this ever happening, they really want to keep this kind of under the rug, hush hush. They don't want anyone to know about it. They don't want any evidence of this ever existing. So
Wow.
they're really trying to keep it under wraps.
Okay.
They're going to some lengths. The subpoena request has been signed off, meaning that Reddit now has until the end of the month, I believe, which is like, 2 days from the time of recording?
That's not
Yeah.
long for them to react to that.
Yeah, they have then to either hand over the user's details or say we couldn't take action because of X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, big boys going in. Legal. I apparently like the legal stuff. I do law at college. Didn't do
Oh.
very well. Only
Oh.
got a C because
I've
I'm not
got,
smart.
I've got no grade
Yeah.
in law, so you're
Yeah, it's
more
fine.
educated than I am.
Law's hard. It's interesting but hard.
I think they've gone about that the wrong way, to be honest.
Yes, to be like really up and really mad is, I don't know. Fair enough, like being like, mate, take stuff down, or you can again stop people from abusing or leaking stuff, but they seem to be super angry. I know Epic obviously took action against people before that have released like images and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Borderlands,
Oh, of course.
yeah,
Yeah, that was that
Or-
was one of our
or
talking points on a very early episode.
Gearbox, Gearbox do
It was 2K that
2K overall, yeah.
took the action, but
Yeah. Again, as I referenced earlier, in my nuggets, Rockstar going after modders. I get why this like corporate fury comes out, but I just don't see. It must be a lot of effort to track these individual people down, and I don't know what you charge. There must be obviously some kind of IP abuse law, something going on around that, but I just don't know how you. It seems like an awful lot of effort for,
I believe it depends on how they're accessing the information that they're leaking and whether they're under any contracts to not leak it. So if you've
got like an NDA.
Yeah, then you are breaking contracts.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's kind of a bit more black and white.
If you're just someone on the internet and an anonymous source gives you something, you sharing that.
Yeah, I reckon that's like kind of scare tactics, because if you got given that, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want Activision to come after me.
What have you done? You've not. I don't. In fact, you know what? What have you done?
Yeah,
I don't know
if you
you've
know the
broken-
law on what is being done there that's illegal. Please let us know, because I have not got a clue.
Yeah. What happened with the Borderlands 3 thing is that the guy had people give him leaks, anonymous tipsters giving him leaks, and he would dissect different trailers and things, and he just regurgitate the information. He wasn't hacking to get it. He
didn't do
breaking
anything
any
illegal
contracts. Yeah.
to acquire that information. Yeah,
But him recycling it was questionably punished, not so officially. So I don't know if recycling information that's somehow protected makes you a target for legal retribution. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Moving swiftly on to my final, we're approaching fast the next console generation, which I didn't think we were actually going to see. I thought the Xbox One, PS4, that was going to be it, and then maybe there's going to be some weird pseudo PC console thing going on. But regardless, some details have come out about the Xbox Series X or X Series. I don't quite know how it's officially phrased.
Okay.
Looks like a big fridge, I'm not going to lie. A big black fridge.
The one that looks like a dehumidifier, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, some details have emerged about it. It's going to have a quick resume feature, which will allow you to quote, continue multiple games from a suspend state almost instantly. Pretty sure they said the same thing about the Xbox One, which does have it to a degree, but I never use it because if you try and jump back into a game that has any portion of like online connection, which 90% of games have, it's just like, well, I don't know what you did here because it's been like 5 days since you last logged in, and I can't connect you to the point that you were.
So it just put you back out to a menu to get back into the game, I imagine. Yeah.
So it kind of janks stuff up. Some games it does work on if you're going from like directly back into a single player, but if you
the Switch handles it really well.
Yeah,
it has that sleep state, which
is
really well handled.
Yeah, that's the way it should be done, but X1 doesn't. I could ramble on a very long time about everything that's wrong with the Xbox One, which pains me because I'm an Xbox man.
Console baby.
Yeah. It will apparently offer support for up to 120 frames FPS.
Okay.
So that's always good. That's going to appease a lot of people. I'm not what's the word? I'm not a frame, militant. Like this is running at 119, not 120. What the hell is this?
Yeah, well, if you're on console, like you've bred on 30,
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It's on 60.
But then if my game is running at 60 FPS, I'm happy. Like some people love it. They want 240 frames.
Yeah, I know. Rich is like 240, 144 hertz.
Yeah, the hertz. He's like, I want max hertz, max frames.
And he's like, I know. If it's not running on ultra, then just get it away from me.
Yeah, he just wants to stress his computer out to the absolute max.
Yeah, which I'm not. Can't say. Maybe that is a symptomatic of being a PC gamer, but I'm not that, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I get it from a technical standpoint. If you have like the knife on Resi 2, you have a higher frame rate. Yeah, it's like you're knifing 10 times. Yeah,
their calculations are based on frames. So if you go to like above 200 frames, you can beat the bosses in like 3 knife hits when they. That's an aside. That's like Resi speedrunning tech.
Yeah, we just like Resi as a thing, especially Resi 2.
Especially Resi 2 and especially speedrunning.
Yeah. Backwards compatibility. Microsoft says that the games from all 4 generations of Xbox will have faster load times, improved resolution without any extra work from the developers, which is a bold claim.
Believe it when I see it.
Yeah. We've heard these things said before. It's kind of like the lead up to like a presidential campaign, and they'll just say whatever they want you to say to get that. Devs can also opt into what they're calling to smart delivery system that allows players to buy a copy of the game on One or whatever capacity you might have that in. I've got a day one Xbox.
Very nice.
Awful. You can get it on the Slim or the X, whatever you have at the moment, and you get a copy of that on the Series X, wherever it's dubbed as officially, for free. Basically, you get a free upgrade essentially to that.
Okay,
which is pretty cool.
Nice.
What's a bit telling is that the details have kind of arrived before. So Sony obviously announced the PS5 a little while back.
Yeah.
It looks weird. Looks like a galactic horseshoe to me.
Do you know I've not seen anything on the PS5?
It's like a weird U-shape kind of deal.
Okay.
And it's interesting that like now the Series X has come out, and then they've kind of pipped them and coming out and saying, "Oh, this is what we've got." So the ball is now kind of in PS5's court to say, "Oh, well, this is what we have."
They're playing that arms race to the next generation.
So there's no price yet confirmed on either of them, on an Xbox Series X or a PS5. So I'd imagine from what they're saying, you're looking at about at least, I would say, 400 quid. I reckon. Okay. For what they're saying, it wouldn't surprise me. Probably 450 to 500 if you're getting like a couple of decent games with it. I'm wondering, Matt. I'm gonna involve you in the news. Do you reckon this shows that Microsoft they're putting down the gauntlet and saying, "Bring it on. We're ready for the next phase"? Because they pretty much categorically lost this era. They won it, I'd say, pretty convincingly with the 360.
Yeah.
And then they just have, in my mind, they have literally no exclusives that are worth owning it for.
No, that's true.
And everything they have that they say is good, you may as well just buy a PC.
I think that they're just trying to be a contender, right? It's just Xbox and PlayStation that are competing in the same field. Like PC gamers aren't, they're not in that field. Like people will own a PC and a console, and you might even own a console and a Switch. I don't think the Switch even comes into the fight that's going on there. or Nintendo
Yeah,
products.
I know what
So
you
like
mean.
it's a different. Nintendo skews towards a toy, and a PC skews towards a tool, and the consoles are like your home entertainment. That's what I see it as.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, and I am inclined to agree with you. And I think that the Switch is happy being viewed as a toy, and the PC is happy if it's viewed as a tool.
Yeah.
But the consoles, they want to be like, you have this, and you don't need anything else. We do everything.
Yeah, they want to be your only thing. They want to be the thing in your living room that you have like right next to your Skybox. Like,
Yeah.
it's Sky and then your console, and it will play DVDs. It will give you Netflix. It will do everything you want it to do. But I don't know. It's a weird one for me. I think they're definitely coming at it hard. They've proven from the last generation that their first party titles are weak.
Yeah, they're not great.
And that they're willing to give them away to PC when it comes down to it. So,
Of course, that's what we think. If you are going to get a console, if any, let us know which one you're going to be buying. And that is the news. I hope you're all newsed up.
educated.
Finish him!
So that was the news. I hope you're enlightened. And we finish now with our question, which was, Matt, let us know.
Favorite gaming memories.
It was.
That's what we're talking about.
I'm going to start with mine because I've got these like on top of my head.
Top of your brain. Go on.
So I'm literally just going to reel them off in the order that I've written them. So this isn't chronologically.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun in my college years. I did a lot of gaming when I was in college, as I imagine most nerds did.
Mm-hmm.
I had no girlfriend. I had no job.
No
I had
responsibilities.
all the time in the world to do all the gaming I wanted. And I picked up Guitar Hero 3 in that time. Picked up, really enjoyed it. Played it like through the night. Had an insane amount of fun. And also like discovered an entirely new genre of music.
Okay.
I hadn't really listened to like band type music before that. And now that's like a regular part of like my listening diet.
Okay.
So that like opened up a different avenue of my life, I guess, or
That's kind of cool.
artistic
That it
interests.
introduced you to a different media.
Yeah. I didn't really interact with it. No, I wasn't adverse to it, but I just hadn't properly given it the time of day until then. So there was one time I remember I got super into Fallout 3. Played it from, I would say, like 1 in the afternoon till about 6 a.m. the next day.
Wow. Square eyes.
That was a lot. I remember I turned around and then I saw that it was like light coming through my blinds and I was like, Jesus, I've been playing this for a long time. Getting my GameCube, that was a big thing. Like the GameCube, as much as it was short-lived, was like a really cherished part of my childhood. I also had I remember vividly convincing my mum that it was 150 quid. She like didn't believe that could be possible.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, it's just insanely cheap. Don't question it. Just pay the woman. Let me play Luigi's Mansion 3. No, not
One.
I was one.
That's
It's
what
because
it
I haven't
was.
played it recently. That's a Freudian slip. Completing Max Payne 3 on New York Minute Hardcore, which if you've played it, you know how tough that is. You go through the game on the hardest difficulty, and you have a minute to get through each section, and you add time by getting kills.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Yeah, and if you die, you go back to the beginning of the game.
Whoa.
And I did that, but I started at like 10 o'clock at night, thinking I wasn't going to do it. And I was like, okay, I'll just see how far I get and see which is like my fail section, and then I'll practice that level,
Yeah.
get a good strategy, and then come back to it.
Okay.
And I finished it about 4 a.m.
Nice.
But like Danielle was asleep, and so I just had to do it, and then I just remain in silence. I couldn't like celebrate in any way, so that was like
You just had to
I had to
internalize
I had
that
to
scream
restrain
of
myself.
victory.
getting accepted to write for What Culture. Not a strictly gaming memory, but I write. I provide written content for What Culture, whatculture.com. Write lists for them. That was a pretty big thing for me because I try and be a gaming journalist.
Yeah. And you are?
Yeah,
You do that?
I am a published author, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can check me out on What Culture if you want. Don't want to plug myself, but I just did.
Do it.
Playing Mario Kart 64 with my dad. My dad passed away when I was younger, and that's quite just a nice memory I have of doing that with him. The N64 was like the last console we played together.
Yeah.
So that was quite a nice memory for me. And I bought Conker's Bad Fur Day when I was a kid, or I got my aunt, I think, to buy it. And then my mum realised what it was and then made me take it back.
Ah.
So that was sad. So
rough.
Yeah. But what about you, Matt? What are your memories?
So my like key ones, I kind of just look back to my childhood. I used to watch my big brother, play games a lot, like the PS2, PS1 and PS2. I'd sit and watch him play games, and Resident Evil 2 and 3. I wasn't supposed to watch him play, so I'd watch him do the bits without zombies, and then he'd say zombie, and I'd have to turn away.
That's cool.
when he was killing stuff. But I would actually watch him do it in the reflection of like a glass panel, and he didn't know.
And now he does. If he listens,
oh
he'll
god,
know.
he might. Ooh.
Zombies.
And Tekken. I used to watch him play Tekken a lot.
Nice.
And that was always fun. And on Tekken 3, they had a Gallagher mode. And
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
you could play Gallagher in Tekken, and if you completed it, you unlocked Devil Jin, a Devil Jin costume. At the time, when I was younger, I didn't know that it was just a reskin. I thought he was a whole new character, and I used to play it a little bit too. I wasn't great at it, but I used to play it with my brother and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to get Devil Jin. And I drove myself insane by completing Gallagher, which is a very hard game.
Yeah.
Like, it's arcade hard.
For a human adult. So
it was not easy.
You as a child.
So I went nut. This game drove me insane, and I completed it, and then it was a reskin. And I just remember being... My psyche was shattered at that point. It was like, oh my god. In my late teens, I got really into emulators. So I went back and played a lot of the games that I hadn't been exposed to in my young childhood. Like I started off on the Genesis, and I played like Sonic, a little bit of Golden Axe back in the day. But getting access to those emulators gave me the whole back catalogue, so I could play games. My two favourites that stood out to me were ActRaiser and Gunstar Heroes. And if you've not played Gunstar Heroes, seriously go back and play it. It's an amazing game.
A lot of love for that game.
As a 2D side-scrolling action game, like I would say it's up there with Mega Man. Like the kind of it's just a really good game. I'm not gonna blow
It's
on it. It's
incredibly underrated. Yeah,
for sure. Going to the midnight release for GTA 5. Do you remember that?
That was cool. Yeah,
and I went with you.
And Fallout 4. We went as well.
Yeah, that's my next one, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even read that. I'm sorry. We got free food at that, didn't we? We had the Itsu.
Yeah,
someone came around and gave us like chicken chow mein.
Yeah, it was nice.
The little pots.
But GTA 5, I remember I went with you for you. Because
Yeah,
I didn't want
me.
the game.
Yeah,
I hadn't looked up anything on the game. Wasn't excited about it. I didn't really. GTA was fine, but I thought 4 was underwhelming. I wasn't excited for 5. And when I got to the front of the queue with you, I was like, "You got any games?" And they were like, "Yeah, we've got one special edition left." And it wasn't like the super special edition. It was like the one above.
It was like the mid tier. Yeah, it was like 70 quid or something like that.
So I was like, "All right, go on then." And I could hear people like, behind me.
You just turned up. You didn't even want this game.
I didn't want it, and I just deprived like about 20, 30 people behind me from their midnight release game just because I felt like on a whim. I was like, yeah, all right, go on then. And I did do the same for Fallout 4, and that game I was stoked for.
You got the full edition on that. You got the Pip-Boy.
I got the full Pip-Boy in the case. I've played it with the Pip-Boy as well. It's not as fun as you might think. It's interesting, but
I think it is as fun as I think.
Fair enough.
Because I think it's you
don't think it's that fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just going to that midnight release. I remember I wore my Vault T-shirt as well, and
there were some dudes filming. Do you remember that as well?
Yeah,
I don't know what they were filming. But
yeah, like walking up and down the queue and stuff.
Yeah, you had the Vault jumpsuit on.
He'd like done his hair. He had a wig on as well, right?
Yeah. The dude even had a rig, like a camera rig.
Yeah, gimbal. He had a gimbal to stabilize his movement. But yeah, I actually took 2 weeks off for the release of Fallout 4. Sorry, 1 week off. And I played it 40 hours.
1 week to play it and 1 week to come to terms with how bad it was.
Yeah. Fallout 4?
Nah, like performance-wise. I love Fallout 4. I think it's the best one. People hate me for that.
Dread, Fallout, what are you doing to me today? You're just ripping me asunder.
Bioshock Infinite is better than Bioshock 1.
Oh my god, he said it. He said it.
Bioshock 2 is better than them all. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Bioshock 2 multiplayer
is
greater
the best
than
multiplayer.
Greater than COD. Any COD game. Come at me. Yeah, those are like my key ones. And there was one Christmas when my mum got me for the GBA. She got me a Lord of the Rings game and Hey Ya single. I spent a week listening to like Hey Ya on repeat and playing the Lord of the Rings game. And that Christmas just burned into my memory because I had like no desires, responsibilities. I just ate tons and played Lord of the Rings, and that was it.
I remember one Christmas I had Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
And the Simpsons Series 1. I'm a very big Simpsons fan. And I remember watching it, playing Mario Kart in like maybe the first week of the new year.
Yeah.
Or the week, but the weird week between Christmas and
The kind of nothing week that you get. Yeah.
And I remember like I stopped. I like finished a race, looked up, and I was 11, 12. And I was like, I've peaked.
This is the best point in my life.
Yeah, it will never get better than this. It's only downhill from here. And I was 12.
I hope that wasn't true.
I mean, Double Dash came out.
Oh, there we go.
After that, didn't
there
it?
you go. And Simpsons had more good seasons.
I had Double Dash and Hit and Run in the same year.
Oh.
That was fantastic.
That's a good year.
And I got like a 12 like can thing of Coke.
Oh,
I was loving it. 13. That's all you need.
That's
Simpsons
life.
and Mario Kart.
That's life.
Oh.
So the question for next week, with all that said, is a bit of a different one. What is your favourite rule set from a sport? It could be any sport, but I mean like a traditional, you go outside and play it. So we're thinking about games in a slightly different way, not just video board. Traditional rule set from a sport. I'm interested to see responses on this one. Or our responses as well. How we think about it.
So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah, thank you for listening. And stay posted to Vox Ludio on YouTube if you're listening there. If you're on Spotify or any other podcast app, jump over to YouTube. You can comment, you can talk to us. And the next episode will herald the start of our socials. We're going to have a Facebook page.
We will. We're going to pump it up. We're going to make the comment section as well that we did at the start of this episode. I think we're going to make that a regular thing. Obviously, we get the comments, so you know you can be featured if you want to comment. Yeah,
chime in,
and we'll definitely talk about it because we like to appreciate and engage our audience.
And more talking points are better. Like a good dialogue. We want a good dialogue.
Yeah, it also creates more content for us that we don't have to do any research for. So it's fantastic.
Please. Yeah, like I said, thank you for listening to us. And if you like what you heard, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe in any way. Like it. Do what you want. But do me a favor. Like it if you actually liked it. Don't do us any favors. I want you to like it if you actually liked it.
No, do us a favor.
No,
do.
You want people to actually like the content,
yeah, I mean,
right?
yeah, but also lie to me.
Well, lie to him, not to me.